just desire restlessness. Know that all desires are anyway a movement into restlessness. When you desire, thinking that desire will bring you rest, then desire brings you only restlessness. I repeat. When you desire, hoping that desire will bring you rest, then desire brings you only restlessness. And when you are all right with yourself and demand no rest for yourself and are so secure that you are prepared to plunge into restlessness, then no desire harms you. It goes against common logic, intuitive logic. Usually we say that one must desire rest. We say one must have the right desires. One must desire rest, one must desire peace, one must desire stillness. Rumi here is pointing towards something deeper. He is saying if you are desiring rest, it surely shows that you are restless. And therefore, in desiring rest, your fundamental restlessness will continue. He is suggesting another dimension. In that dimension, you are so deeply at rest. In that dimension, you are already so deeply at rest that now you can desire restlessness. You are secure that no peripheral restlessness can disturb your fundamental state of rest. So it is fun now, playing with restlessness. It's a game now, the whole movement of desires. The really secure one, the really still one, will invite turbulence, will invite trouble. And when he will be moving into turbulence, he will not be moving into turbulence because of an expectation of peace. He is not saying that I am going into the storm so that once I cross the storm, once I weather the storm, I will come upon still weather, calm weather. He is saying calmness is not desirable because calmness is already within. Who wants calmness? He is not saying that turbulence is a means, a method to come to calmness. He is saying turbulence is beautiful for its own sake. That's a fundamental and revolutionary difference. All of us willingly, unwillingly enter turbulence, enter the world of desires. But we enter the world of desires for the sake of an end result at which desire would vanish. That is what we want. We say desire is a method, desire is a bridge. Cross it and come to desirelessness. For us, desirelessness is on the other side of the bridge. Rumi is saying desirelessness has to be at the starting point of the bridge. Desirelessness has to be this side of the bridge. It's strange. It defies our logic and experience. What he is saying is, firstly, know that you are all right, and knowing that you are all right, go ahead and invite trouble. Firstly, know that you are all right, and knowing fully well that you are all right, now go ahead and invite trouble. Of course, only now can you invite trouble because now you know that no trouble can harm you. And how does the common man live? He starts from the wrong place firstly. He doesn't start from the point, I am all right. He starts from the point, I am incomplete. I am hollow. I need something. And then he says, let me now use desire to reach completion. Let me now use desire to reach all rightness. For this man, desire is a torture. Because he is not desiring desire itself. He is using desire as a bridge. And if bridges are too long, it becomes painful. One is always attempting to cross over. One never gets into a bridge. One never comes to a bridge to permanently stay on the bridge. Rumi is not asking you to shun desire. He is asking you to embrace desire. Embrace desire. Embrace all the mischief, all the trouble. Get into all the nonsense of the world. Pick up a street fight. Knowing fully well that you need none of that. Knowing fully well that the result of what you are doing is immaterial. Only then, only then, only then. Otherwise, you are not qualified to brave the world. Otherwise, you are not qualified to get entangled with the world. Once you are total, established in yourself, then, like Krishna, all the colors of the rainbow world are now available to you. You need not drop any color. It's fun. It's sport. It's Leela. Now your desire need not carry even a facade of logic. Unabashedly, you can announce the most stupid of desires. You are under no pressure now to justify yourself, because you are already just. Why to justify yourself? To be just is to be proper, to be right, to be all right. You are now so all right that you must not appear all right. Otherwise, it would be a blot upon you. The one who is really high must not appear so high. God has nobody to impress except himself, of course. And he is already very impressed with himself. So he makes no attempts. He does not have to present a likable face. He can afford to appear stupid. He does not have to look like a saint. He can afford to play the Saturn. He does not have to be a renunciate or abstemious. He can afford to appear desirous, wanting, engaged, even entangled, even lustful. Appear. Appear. Not be. The sky appears blue. The sky does not become blue. And when there is a rainbow, the sky appears so many colors. But the sky does not take on any of those colors. Rain appears to be falling from the sky, but the sky never rains. Day and night appear to be the faces of the sky. But the sky never has any face. All that you can think of keeps happening in the sky. And more than what you can think of keeps happening in the sky. But nothing ever happens to the sky. So many birds fly in the sky. But no bird ever flies to the sky. It may appear that a bird is rising to the sky, just appear. But actually, the bird is always in the sky. And the sky has great fun. They say the sky never changes. We see the sky does nothing except change. Have you ever seen the same sky twice? Somebody asked, have you ever crossed the same river twice? I'm asking, have you ever seen the same sky twice? So much dynamism. And yet, the sky, even figuratively, is the utmost symbol of stillness. Unchangeability. When you are sky still, then go ahead and desire. Then move. The Upanishads wonder about the truth. About the self, they say, it moves, yet it moves not. And standing still, it moves faster than the fastest. Spirituality is not about somehow passing your life. Spirituality is not about believing that the world is a hostile place in which you have accidentally landed. Spirituality is not about believing that you are in a poor and ugly hospital full of patients and germs and bacteria and pathogens of all kinds. So you must keep washing your hands and you must not touch anybody. And you must just avoid. Spirituality is about surrendering to that which cannot be diseased. Spirituality is about realizing that any definition of yourself that arises from you will be a diseased definition. So you better not define yourself. Not defining yourself you do not know anything about yourself. And in this not knowing, there is a meta-conscious realization that you are not sick, not even healthy, that your health transcends the word health. Now who can infect you? Now who is powerful enough to make you fall sick? All those who are dreaded as agents of disease, bring them on. Maybe my touch will turn them healthy. Let me see whether they infect me or they end up being infected by me. Bring them on. There are many stories about the Buddha. Because the truth cannot be contained in any story, hence there are a large number of stories about the truth. So a few of the Buddha students had gone begging for food. That was their daily ritual. Go, get some bhiksha. They knocked at a door. A beautiful girl lived there. And this student, he had the aura of a Buddha. He truly was the Buddha student. His face had beauty, his eyes had beauty, his entire body had a radiance that is commonly not found in bodies. The girl was infamous as a courtesan in the neighborhood. She was taken as a woman of a bad repute. When the mendicants knocked at her door, that itself was enough to make the neighbors curious. What are ascetics doing at the door of a courtesan? And then she came out and she looked at the one who had knocked, and she fell for him immediately. She said, "May I ask you something?" He said, "Why not?" She said, "Why don't you stay over? Why do you need to go back?" The student said, "Personally, I'm all right with everything. Let me just go and ask my teacher." So he comes to the Buddha, and everybody was expecting that he would get a sound bashing from the Buddha. But unapologetically he comes, narrates the whole story, and stands in front of the Buddha with no emotion and obviously no shame. And the Buddha says, "Go ahead." And he bows down. And leaves for the girl's house. The other students, they all surround the Buddha. They are amazed, curious, actually resentful. Actually jealous. So they say, first of all, you didn't rebuke him for going to a bad woman. Secondly, you didn't rebuke him for coming to you with such a preposterous request. Thirdly, you actually allowed him to go. You sanctioned what he wanted. The Buddha said, "I know my students. And if you are too curious, just watch. Just watch." This monk now starts living with the woman. And she is a courtesan. Yes, she is. She is as tempting as a woman can be. And she has good money. That's what her vocation has gifted her. Till the last day, he was a monk, bearing all the austerities. And the next day, he is in the middle of a sea of affluence and desires. And the girl too can't believe her luck. She had successfully lured many a man, but she had never expected that one of Buddha's students could be so easily attracted. He starts living with her. She takes it almost as a victory. Victory over the student, victory over the Buddha, and victory even over the truth. But as the Buddha said, let's just watch. She tells him to go and wear some fine clothes. She says, give up the attire of a monk. Go wear some fine muslin. Put on an expensive turban. Apply the finest perfume. He says, fine. No resistance. Just as he's saying it's fine, a fallen leaf is blown from one corner of her courtyard to the other corner, as if both events are just the same. Totally resistanceless. The wind comes and the leaf offers no resistance. And this woman says, and the monk offers no resistance. He's a monk. She starts preparing for the night. She thinks it would be a big ask. She expects him to be a tough nut to crack. She even rehearses her seductive tricks. It's a monk to be seduced tonight. I must cast an especially charming spell. But even before she can attempt to seduce him, he is already seduced. She does not even need to labor. She walks in like a seductress, and he asks, do you want me to take off my clothes? Now this should have been a victory. But it hit her as scary. And then he asks, now what next? And the days start passing like this. He eats what she offers him to eat. He goes where she bids him to go. He wakes up when she wants him to get up. He goes to sleep when she says it's time to go to sleep. He just does whatever she wants him to do. Maya is all over him. And he is nowhere to be affected by Maya. It's a strange thing. Maya is all over him and he is nowhere. That frustrates Maya. He has to be somewhere so that she can be all over him, but he is nowhere. He is just gone, disappeared. As if there is nobody called the monk. Within a week, the woman is exhausted. She says, "You are a corpse. You are dead. In fact, you are worse than dead. You are so totally gone that you are not even a corpse. And no woman can make love to a corpse. So go. Because you are already gone, so go." And he says, "As you say. One day you asked me in, I came. Today you want me out, I go. Who am I anyway?" Only a monk can enter the world of seduction. The others are ripped apart, eaten alive by seduction. Only a monk can get in and come out as he is. The others are consumed. So Rumi is asking you to play with desires, but before you play with desires, find a Buddha for yourself. Be a Buddha student. Be an ascetic, be a monk. Otherwise, she knows what to do with you.